Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're all well. So today I just wanted to share with you a few different tips that will help you get through university if you're studying social work and make the most out of it really. I feel like when I was going into social work, I didn't really know anything about it. It was basically like, you got to go to uni, so let's just go and see how we go. So I feel like most of the things that I've actually learned on the job. But if I had gone in with this kind of mindset, I feel like I would have gotten a lot more out of it. So I thought I'll share with you, especially since most of you are now considering whether to study social work or not. So it'll be handy to, have these tips, and then, you can go from there and see if it's actually the course for you. So yeah, let's get right into it. The first thing I would say is do lots of research about social work before getting into the course. I think you need to have a good understanding around what will be required of you as a social worker, and a good understanding around what the course contents will be like, and what kind of placements would you be required to do, how long would you be required to do that for, what kind of subjects you'll be studying, all that stuff. It's really handy to have that information before you get into it, because that way you're able to decide if this is actually going to be for you. It's kind of hard to say if you're going to enjoy the actual work just going by what you study at uni, because I feel like it's totally different experiences. So for that you probably have to figure that out, but I still think you can still just gather as much information as you can before getting involved in the course. The next thing I would say is, if you decide to study social work, just like anything else, I think you need to fully immerse yourself and just attend as many classes as you can, and just mingle with other students that might be, on the same path as you. Just get to know the teachers, find out what they do, and just keep learning. Just put your hands in as many pies as you can really, and just get involved as much as you can, because I feel like that way you're able to get a good understanding around the whole course as it is, because I feel like the actual course is very like theoretical, and it's not as practical until you do the placement. So the more you speak to people, the more information you would get around the whole thing, and that way as well you can suss out whether it's for you in the first couple of years, and you can decide whether you want to change and do something else, or you want to continue doing that. So that would be my second point. My next point would be, find jobs that are related to the course that you're studying. As I said before, the course is very theoretical until you start doing your placement. So the more, if you're able to find a job that's related, like, some like a support worker role or something like that, anything that has to do with working with people that have needs really, would be beneficial. I know that's really vague, but I think any job within the social services or social welfare or community development, anything like that, will be beneficial to have. So that way you can start practicing and linking what you're studying at uni to the work that you're doing, and you can have discussions with your supervisor around, linking whatever those theories are that you're learning with the practice that you're practicing at uni. I mean, at work. And I think that way you're able to get a lot more out of the course. I don't feel like I got that. I feel like, I missed a lot of lectures. Like, I didn't really go to lectures. I only went to tutorials because they were compulsory, and I just did assignments just so I could pass. Like, I wasn't fully in there, so I feel like I missed out on that bit. But I mean, you can still get the knowledge when you start practicing. But I mean, if you're going to go to uni, you might as well like make the most out of it. So I definitely encourage working in the field, and that way you have that experience on your resume as well. And once you complete the degree, then it'll be easier for you to find work, because most people want you to have experience. So yeah, that would be my next point. My next thing would be, when you start placement, immerse yourself completely. Here in Australia, you're required to do 1,000 and something hours, which is ridiculous. Like, it's so many hours, and you're doing it for free, and it's compulsory. In order to graduate, you need to do it. So you might as well make the most out of it. So most of the time, I find that when I was doing my placement, most of the supervisors that were supervising me were continuing with their job. Like, it wasn't like, okay, you have a student now, so you're not gonna do your work anymore. You were doing both. So I had to go in with plans, and I had to tell her what I wanted to do for the day, and I had to tell her, you know, what my interests are, what I wanted to spend most of my time at placement doing. I had to get involved in other programs within the center as well in order to keep busy, because they're not always available to, you know, provide you with tasks to do or things to learn or stuff like that. So you need to keep asking, what can I do today, or I'd like to do this today, or that kind of thing, you know. So fully immerse yourself in placement, because you have to do it anyway, even though you're not getting paid for it. Fully immerse yourself, learn as much as you can, bring theories to placement, discuss it with your supervisor, and see how it links in with the work that they do as well. And that way you're able to get a really good understanding around relating theory to practice, because that's the most important thing. Because once you graduate, the theory side of things is not really you knowing how to define anti-discriminatory practice isn't really relevant. It's more how you're able to link anti-discriminatory practice to the work that you're doing now. That's what's relevant. So yeah, those were a few tips that I thought I'll share with you guys today. I hope you guys find it beneficial. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I shall see you in my next video. Bye guys.